Hey guys, this is Chirag, and I'll be going over how to create a GitHub project and use the terminal to publish your code. GitHub is a really useful tool because it allows you to keep changes that you make to the codebase online, and you can jump back in time to a previous commit and view what changes were made and what the current codebase looked like. First off, make sure that you have already created a robot project that you'll push to GitHub. The first thing we'll do is create a GitHub account by going to github.com. If you already have an account, then log in. Otherwise, you should go through the sign up process. I already have an account, so I won't go through it on video, but just follow the directions and you should be fine. I recommend you register with your Harker email and password so that you don't forget your credentials. Make sure to choose the free plan. After creating your account and logging in, click on the Add button in the top right corner and click New Repository. Name it whatever the name of your robot project is, and don't check any of the other options or else you get errors when you try to push your code. After that, open your robot project in Visual Studio Code and open a new terminal window by clicking Terminal and then New Terminal. You enter commands into the terminal in order to tell Git what action to do. To install Git on Windows, go to robotics.harker.org/github download and select Windows. On Mac, type the word Git and then hit enter. If Git is not installed, a prompt will appear asking you to install it. Otherwise, a list of Git commands will be printed in the terminal window. After installing Git, you want to initialize a Git repository in the robot code folder to tell Git to track changes to the codebase. To do that, just type in git init and then hit enter. To view what changes have been made, run the command git status. It should print a bunch of untracked files and folders, meaning that Git is not recording changes for them. To track the codebase, run git add dot. Git add tells Git to start tracking files, and dot is a reference to the current folder, so it will track everything in the codebase. If you run git status again, you'll see that Git is now tracking the codebase. After that, you need to commit your changes. The commit stores the changes that have been made and has a message attached to it that provides a brief summary of the changes. The commit message should be accurate and descriptive, and our team has a standard for commit messages, which is that they should begin with a capitalized present tense verb. You can check if a commit message is valid by putting the phrase "this commit will" before it. For example, this commit will finish a drivetrain command. You can commit your changes by typing git commit -m and then the commit message enclosed in quotation marks. However, this commit is the first commit in the project, and it only contains a basic file structure, no real robot code, so we should make the commit message initial commit. Now you want to push the commit to GitHub, so the first thing you want to do is link your GitHub account to your computer. So you should run git config --global user.name and then put your name in quotation marks, and then run git config --global user.email and then the email address of your GitHub account. Then you want to link your codebase to the GitHub repository. So run git remote add origin and then the URL of the GitHub repository, which you can copy and paste. Now, normally you would run git push to push your changes to GitHub, but because this is the first commit, you need to tell Git which branch to push to. A branch is basically a set of code changes, and the default branch is called the master branch. So to tell Git to push to the master branch, you need to add -u origin master. Git should ask you to enter your credentials, but I have it set up so that I don't have to. So now if you go back to the GitHub page and refresh, you should now see the code that you've pushed. Now we're going to create a Readme file. So right click on the file window below the files and create a new file named readme.md. Readme files will show up on GitHub below all the files, so you can put like documentation in it. So what we can do is type out an octothorpe and then a space and the name of your robot project. Then click in the terminal, add your changes, commit them, and then push them. And after that, go back to the GitHub page, and the name of your robot project should be in bold. So that concludes the Git setup tutorial. Because there are a lot of commands, they are outlined on a Google Doc at robotics.harker.org/GitHub.